For so long, businesses have been completely obsessed with one thing, getting new customers. The constant hunt for that next sale. But what if that whole strategy is, well, kind of broken? Today, we're going to talk about a totally different way to grow your business. One that starts not by chasing strangers, but by taking care of the people who've already chosen you. Let's start a revolution.
I want you to picture your business as a bucket, okay? Now, you spend a ton of money, a ton of effort, your marketing, your sales team, your own precious time. All of it is just pouring water into this bucket. And every single drop is a brand new customer you worked so hard to get. But what if that bucket is full of holes? All that work, all that cash, it's just leaking out the bottom. That's exactly what happens when you focus on getting new customers instead of keeping the ones you have. Okay, now here is a number that should honestly stop you in your tracks. According to the Harvard Business Review, it costs anywhere from 5 to 25 times more to get a new customer than it does to keep an existing one. Just let that sink in for a second. That's an insane amount of money you're spending on growth, all because you might be pointing your efforts in the wrong direction.
So, in this explainer, we are going to plug those leaks for good. We'll kick things off by figuring out the real cost of your customers. Then, we'll dig into the hidden reasons they're not coming back. After that, I'll share the secret to truly sustainable profit, show you how to build a super simple but powerful retention system, and finally, how to turn that system into your new growth engine.
All right, first up, the real cost of customers. This is what I call a silent killer for profits because, most businesses just aren't tracking it the right way. They see the sales coming in, which feels great, but they have no idea how much they're actually paying for each and every one of those sales.
And that metric is called your customer acquisition cost, or CAC. Put simply, it's the total investment you make to get one new person to buy from you for the very first time. And trust me, it's almost always more than you think. We're not just talking about your ad spend here. Oh no, it's the salaries for your marketing team, the software tools you use, the time it takes to create content. It's the whole shebang. This is that hidden cost that can make a business with great revenue, well, completely unprofitable.
The good news is, figuring it out is actually pretty simple. First, you just add up all your sales and marketing costs for a specific period, let's say a month. That includes everything: ads, salaries, software, you name it. Then, you just divide that big number by the number of new customers you got in that same month. And boom! That number you're left with, that's your CAC. That's what you pay on average just to get one person in the door.
Okay, so now we know what it costs to get them. But why the heck aren't they sticking around? You might be surprised to hear it's usually not about your product, and it's often not even about your price. It's about how you make them feel. Let's get into the real reasons customers disappear. These are what I call the 7 service triggers. Those tiny little moments that just push customers away, probably forever. And I bet you've felt all of these. That feeling of being totally ignored when you walk into a store. Or feeling abandoned when you desperately need help and no one's around. Or, my favorite, the frustration of being passed from person to person, having to tell your story over and over and over again. Every one of these, from incompetence to just plain disrespect, is like a little crack in that relationship. And we've all been there and thought, you know what? I'm never coming back here again. And if you think a little bad service doesn't matter, look at this. Research from PwC found that 1 out of every 3 customers will walk away from a brand they love after just one bad experience. Just one. The relationship is that fragile. You usually don't get a second chance. The leak in your bucket starts the second your customer feels that friction. Okay, so we've laid out the problem. It's crazy expensive to get customers, and it's way too easy to lose them. So what's the solution? It's a fundamental shift in your thinking. You have to stop focusing on one-off transactions and start obsessing over a customer's lifetime value.
Lifetime value, or LTV, is the total amount of money a customer is likely to spend with you over their entire relationship with your business. And once you really get this, everything changes. A customer is no longer just a $20 sale. No, they're a potential $2,000 asset, and you're going to treat a $2,000 asset a whole lot differently, right?
I mean, just look at the numbers when you put them side by side. The chance of selling to a brand new person, it's a tough sell, maybe 5 to 20% if you're lucky. But selling to someone who already knows you, who already trusts you, that probability skyrockets to 60 or 70%. And not only that, they spend more money. They're way more likely to try your new products, and they cost you so much less to reach. It's not even a fair fight. Retention just dominates on every single level.
So here it is. This is probably the single most important rule for a healthy, growing business. Your customer's lifetime value needs to be at least 3 times bigger than what it cost you to get them. Why 3? Because that LTV has to cover your CAC, pay for all your other business expenses, and still leave you with a nice profit. If that ratio is off, your leaky bucket isn't just leaking, it's sinking.
All right, so how do we actually do this? How do we get that LTV way up and plug those leaks for good? You need a system, not some super complicated thing, but a deliberate plan built on 2 simple pillars, creating an amazing human experience and then backing it up with smart, simple technology.
Let's start with Pillar 1, the human experience. This is your secret weapon, especially against those giant, faceless online companies. It's all about creating real moments of connection that make a customer feel seen, heard, and cared for. You know, technology can do a lot of things, but it can't fake a genuine smile.
And you can totally create a system for this. It really just boils down to 3 simple steps. First, the welcome. Greet every single person warmly and do it within seconds. Make them feel noticed. Second, the service. Change your mindset from seller to helpful advisor. Your job isn't to push your product, it's to solve their problem. And third, the closing. A real, genuine thank you. And then ask a simple question like, how did we do for you today? This simple process makes being excellent the standard, not a lucky accident.
Now on to Pillar 2, the technology assist. A great human experience is amazing, but it's hard to do that for every single person when you get busy. That's where Simple Tech comes in to give you superpowers. It helps you keep that personal connection going with hundreds or even thousands of customers basically on autopilot.
And honestly, the best tool for this is probably already in your pocket. WhatsApp Business is like a secret weapon for retention. You can set up a professional profile with your catalog of services. Then you can automate the important stuff, send an instant welcome message so nobody feels ignored, and automatically send appointment reminders to cut down on no-shows. You can even use labels to organize your clients so you know who's who. It's all about systemizing that personal touch. And the best part, most of these features are totally free.
And the difference this makes is just night and day. Trying to follow up manually relies on your memory, it's going to be inconsistent, it takes forever, and you're absolutely going to miss opportunities. But a tech-assisted system, it's automatic, it's reliable. It gives a consistent, high-quality experience to every single customer, every single time. It lets a small, one-person shop provide the same level of service as a giant corporation.
So when you bring these 2 things together, a remarkable human experience and a smart technology assist, that's when you really transform your business. You stop frantically trying to pour water into that leaky bucket, and instead, you start building a fortress, defended by an army of loyal fans. Because at the end of the day, the goal was never just to make one sale. The real goal is to start a relationship. Every single interaction you have is a chance to turn a first-time buyer into someone who will champion your brand for life. That is what the retention revolution is all about.
And if you need one last number to really drive this home, here it is. Research has shown that improving your customer retention by just 5% can boost your profits by anywhere from 25 to 95%. Think about that. A tiny 5% improvement in keeping the customers you already have can nearly double your profit. I can pretty much guarantee there's no other single thing you can do in your business that will give you that kind of return. So, I'll leave you with this question. Is your business a leaky bucket, constantly losing the value you work so hard to create? Or are you building a fortress of loyal fans who will not only stick with you, but will go out and tell the world about you? The choice is yours, and it all starts by focusing on the customer you already have.